Appeal, yes. We're already in the process of reviewing the court order, and we're going to appeal.
It's not on.
Oh, it's not.
Sorry.
It's not on.
Let's try that again.
Is it on?
It's on.
It's on.
Right away.
So do you plan to appeal this decision?
Yes, we plan to appeal the decision. We respect the fact that Judge Blouin has found us guilty. However, we are not afraid. We have Jesus on our side, and we're going to appeal. We're the largest Christian-backed newspaper in the world, and I find it very hard to believe that what we published about Jews and women, which a lot of it is right out of the Bible, is hate speech in Canada. It's a very dark day for Christianity today.
Would you say these charges are politically motivated?
Of course they are. For 3 years, the police have said there was no hate speech. Twice police went to the media over the last three and a half years and said there was no hate speech. All of a sudden, 8 days after a positive decision at the Canada Post Board of Review, the Attorney General of Ontario at the time, Yazir Naqvi, decided there was hate speech backdated 3 years. Obviously, the decision is politically motivated, but again, we do respect Judge Blouin. We're going to follow the necessary protocols, and we're going to appeal the decision.
You said you felt like you were being crucified, though.
That's right. I feel like I was being crucified. Actually, I do feel the pain in my wrist that Jesus felt, except in my case, it's carpal tunnel from all the typing I've been doing to help my lawyer out.
Do you plan to keep publishing? It sounds like you are not going to change anything.
Yeah, we're going to keep publishing. The Crown, just for your information, is asking us to take down the issues in question. Obviously, the new issues of your ward news are not affected by this decision, so the new issues will still be up. We will continue to publish.
Are you going to take down the ones that are in question?
Well, we have to, pending appeal, but we don't know which issues they are. We've got to look at Judge Blouin's order. We're not 100% sure. And just so you know, I understand the Crown is asking for a custodial term. They're going to ask for 6 to 9 months jail. And we are prepared. I called my wife. She says she's extremely proud of everything I'm doing and my partner LeRoy is doing. And she stands by my side. She brought up some scene in Braveheart where they slit the throat of the guy's wife, and all of a sudden he went berserk and took over the country. And she says, that's what I see happening right now, and they're going to harden your resolve. And my wife is right. It does harden my resolve.
How are you just continue publishing? Does this mean that the content is going to change?
The content, our position is that the content is not illegal.
That's not the position, though, of the judge.
Yeah, but that's we disagree respectfully. I mean, the judge, we do respect him, but we disagree completely because the judge doesn't know what was in our minds when we published it. He's assuming that we willfully promoted hate, which we did not. The Crown kept out a lot of material that the judge could not rely on, including videos of me clearly giving my reasons for publishing the paper. The Crown kept out everything that was exculpatory and only put in the worst possible stuff. So this is the legal system in Canada. I'm a proud Canadian. I respect the legal system, and we're going to appeal this, and this is going to go on for months, if not years to come.
But James, just to be clear, just on that last question, since you're ordered by the judge to remove some of those posts...
No, we weren't ordered. The judge hasn't given that order.
Okay.
The judge said we should think about it.
Okay.
The other thing I do want to say, there's another thing I do want to say. The Crown in their closing arguments said that our newspaper is the first step towards another Holocaust, Jewish Holocaust. They said that the Jewish Holocaust began with newspapers like ours. This is what the Crown said. The Crown is seeking custodial sentence. In other words, they're saying that we're heathens. And yet the Crown proceeded summarily, denying us the right to a jury trial. This is not right. If the Crown was planning to go for something this extreme, for anything custodial, they should have gone with a prosecution that allowed us an indictable offense to allow us to have a jury trial. They've denied us the right of our peers to decide if reading your word news is hate speech. Because really, that's what it's all about here. Everything's open to interpretation. That's the problem with the hate speech.
So is it fair to say that when you say you continue to publish, you're going to continue to publish the same sorts of material, the same worded material that the judge found was hatred against women, hatred against Jews?
Every edition of the paper is different. So, I mean, I publish from a position of love, believe it or not. And the judge said that it was dehumanizing to call women chattel, but the article clearly says that men treat their cars better than their women, and if men viewed women as chattel, they treat them better. Now, to me, it's obvious that doesn't come from a position of hate, but it wasn't obvious to the judge. Like I said, we just skimmed through the decision.
But you still haven't answered the question. Are you going to change the content or the nature of the content?
We're going to continue publishing our unfiltered thoughts as we always have. Like, I don't really understand what the problem is here. The judge did not say every single thing that we publish is hate. He said, looking at the paper overall, I'm not really 100% sure what that means. We have to read the decision. Like, we're not, but like I said, I'm not afraid. My wife says she's proud of me. I mean, that's all that matters. I have a lovely wife, handsome young boy that's going to be turning 4 soon. Children's Aid visited the house 3 years ago after a complaint by that man with the bald head leaning against the escalator, Richard Borman. He called Children's Aid against my family for political purposes. To me, that's a crime.
So just
that's
to be clear,
a hate crime.
it doesn't sound like you're going to be changing anything about the publication.
Do I look like the type of guy who changes anything about anything?
James, do you think the corporate media that are here today have reported on this case in an honest fashion?
Obviously, Mr. McCurry, you have your biases too, but no, I think we've gotten, the unfairness here is the fact that the media has automatically treated us as if we were guilty all along. Now, how much of that pressure factored into the judge's decision, I don't know, but clearly we haven't gotten a fair shake in the media. Clearly, people should read the paper. Clearly, there's an edition of the paper out there, and I think people are intelligent enough to be able to interpret things for themselves.
Do you consider yourself to be a neo-Nazi?
No. No. Okay, all right. Okay, well, any other questions?